What up, gang?
What's up, chat? What's going on?
Yippee-ki-yay. Yippee.
Holy cow. I feel like I
Yippee.
forgot how to do this.
I'm just here. Real time.
Let me tell you. We're back.
Grand rising. Grand rising.
Guys, it has been quite a minute. Um, I'll lore dump my end. So last week was my fault. Actually, I would say it's Spectrum's fault because
True.
around 5 o'clock ish, when I was kind of moving stuff around, the internet just went kaput, and I can't make this shit up. I talked to this lovely woman for 40 minutes trying to get the internet to work, and oh my god, I was texting Tab about it. I was
I
like, I
saw the
swear
screenshots.
I'm not making this up. I shit you not. And this lady needs a pay decrease. I was so upset because she did not know she didn't understand. They gave me an agent that wasn't in my location, which whatever, I'm sure they can figure everything out. But my internet wasn't working and they said that there was no outages. I was like, there's obviously an outage or my equipment's not working. And she was like, I'll get a technician out there on Tuesday. How's that going to help me on Sunday? No, it's not my fault, but it's the illusion that many things are my fault because I do from time to time have
Not the
quite an interesting
illusion.
life outside of everything, and sometimes I just completely blank on stuff, but that shalln't happen anymore. I am very locked in. I have a little checklist of things, not just midnight oil stuff that I go through every day because I need a little bit more structure in my life. I feel, man, ever since I got out of school, I feel like I just got like efficiency in my brain kaput. If it's not Minecraft, it doesn't work. I don't know
Mm.
why. I don't know why.
Boogie
I,
week.
I don't get it. But we back.
Easter was
Um,
both of our faults, though. That Easter Sunday, we both fell asleep and didn't wake up.
we dead ass. I
I'm pretty
first of all, I
sure, at
forgot.
least.
I totally forgot it was Easter. And Tab texts me. Is like, so what are we doing for Easter? And I said, Easter. uh, hmm. Yes, please. If anything goes wrong in your life, just blame it on me because it's probably via the butterfly effect, likely something that I've done. Yeah,
We
Easter.
It's like
It,
Dinkelberg. Dinkelberg.
Dingleberg. No, literally, the Easter Bunny decided to take my router and smash it on the ground. Let's just say that.
Fair. One of my friends, this is a really goofy story. Drive by us on Easter and like dropped off like an Easter basket full of candy for me and Cameron and left a note. Didn't even hang around to say hi. Didn't hang around to
Whoa,
like
full
literally
drive by.
fully just dropped a basket and a note, and the note was so cryptic it was unbelievable. It was something like the Easter bunny, like, we've been monitoring your house for a long time now. um the Easter bunny, blah 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 blah. Oh, it was something. I hope we still have the note because like I want to read it. I feel like it's funny.
You better have that note. You can't ever get rid of that. That's
It
hilarious.
was it was genuinely hilarious, but no, it was not full of peeps. I don't like peeps. Cameron likes peeps though.
We've talked about that before.
Mm-hmm.
We don't. Peeps. if you're over 5 years old and you like Peeps, I don't say this often, but something's wrong with you. Just eat a marshmallow.
I understand the appeal, um, but I can't get behind it. It's just the if it was just the marshmallow, maybe if the peep was like a chocolate thing,
Mm,
I could do that. But it's the outside of the peep that's weird to me. It's like grainy. It's like
yeah.
sand. Like I'm eating a sandy marshmallow.
Yeah, I don't like that part. It's kind of like when it's not sprinkles, it's the other thing that they put on like cupcakes. It's like that like
Okay, yeah.
glittery flavoring thing. I don't like that. I don't know that I'm explaining that well, but it's like this like topping that they put on top of the and then
Hello?
Hey,
yeah.
do we still have the note that Shay dropped off with the basket?
Let me see.
Okay. I'm pretty sure they can hear you on the microphone, by the way. I'm on FaceTime.
I do not believe so.
Why did we throw that away?
But it was pretty much talking about how like yeah, that our house has been watching us, that there's been like odd readings coming from our house. Um and that if we ever it was very much like SCP S, but like it was the Easter Bunny.
Okay. That's all I wanted. Thanks. Bye. I guess we do not
That's
have the note, but
I'm very
yeah,
I'm very you should have kept that note.
I know. It was really
That's like
funny.
did it look like a ransom note where all the letters were different sizes?
No, but it was like a case file. Like it looked like a case file.
Oh man, that's awesome.
At least I think it did. I didn't even see the note. Cameron just read it. And I guess threw
Oh,
it away.
no, there's no
It was
evidence.
fire though.
That's
I
unfortunate.
guess. It was talking about how like targets have two cats. If the cats notice that you are here, ignore and leave immediately. And I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? At first, I was like, what is going on? And so I texted my friend because that's who Cameron said that it came from, was one of our friends. So I texted her and I was like, hey, uh, what was this about? And let me see if I know I texted her. Let me see if I can find the message I sent her. Um, she was just like, "What? What do you mean?" I was like, "Oh my god, we have a stalker. I think the bunny may be out to get us." And she was like, "What? I know. I warned Cameron there was a bunny man outside. That's so weird and scary." And I just told her that my cat stole the Easter eggs that were in
What?
there.
What?
It was it was so goofy.
This is. I mean, having like a case file of the Easter Bunny is funny.
No,
It's
yeah.
awesome.
But like my
That
friend
is
just
awesome.
thought to do a drive-by drop-off of like an Easter basket and turn it into a
Did
case file. Like, girl,
yeah?
what? What kind of friends do I
Did,
have right
did you
now?
guys solve the case?
I mean, we deduced it to the fact that the Easter Bunny was indeed stalking us and dropped off candy that I ate. It was little chocolate eggs. They were kind of fire, I'm not gonna lie.
That's awesome. That's something I do miss is eating like chocolate stuff.
I love chocolate.
I
I could
love
take
chocolate
chocolate
so
from my
much.
cold dead hands.
Uh, Well, yeah. Happy Easter. Happy Midnight Oil Day. Happy day before 420.
Happy
And
day.
happy day. Happy day.
Happy
Um,
day.
that's all I got. If we want to get started,
Yeah, I'm done. Is it my
it
intro?
is your turn.
Period. Did you want to read the story, or am
I
I going into the story right after our intro?
You can go into the story this time.
Yeah. Take a drink of water.
Mm.
I got my script up. We're good. All right. Welcome back to the Midnight Oil Podcast, the show where we read and discuss viewer submitted stories about your first-hand experiences with the paranormal and supernatural. As always, I'm Tab, and this is Keegan. If you would like to submit a story for us to discuss, you can find the link in the description of wherever you're listening. And without further ado, let's burn this oil, baby!
Let's go.
Woohoo! So, we do have one story. And it's a pretty decent sized one. But let's get into it. I used to work as a security at the mall in Kentucky. Okay, let me restart that actually, because I butchered that whole entire sentence. um, um, I used to work as security at a mall in Kentucky. I would say which one, but I'm probably sure they wouldn't like that. So I'll keep that a secret. My supervisor figured out that I liked doing the night shifts. So a lot of my shifts were thirds and weekends. I heard stories about the mall being haunted, but never put much thought into it until I saw it for myself. Supposedly, there was a ghost in the main men's bathroom that lets people know it's around by flushing the toilets randomly. Also, one of the maintenance halls was supposed to be haunted by a girl that worked there previously but died in an unrelated accident. One night, I heard the toilets going off. I always thought it was a glitch in the auto flushing sensor, but this time they were flushing like crazy until I walked in and they all stopped. A couple of weeks later, I was doing my rounds and heard low talking coming from one of the maintenance halls. I thought that someone had snuck in, so I went in and saw nobody there. The final bit of proof that was undeniable for me was when I was doing rounds and I was passing through Center Court. As I was walking in the brightly lit area, I saw a disembodied pair of legs running through the mall.
What?
After that, I absolutely believed every story. There was one night that I decided to bring some equipment and do some hunting. I was able to catch a couple EVPs, but I couldn't trust the EMF readings I was getting, and I didn't get any video.
What? You found the wet bandits at the mall.
What the helly? What the helly? That's
I feel like
crazy.
malls are a hot spot. I feel like
For
I've
being
heard a
haunted?
lot. Yeah. I feel like I hear all kinds of stories all the time about like mall hauntings or just strange stuff going on at malls. I feel like once you get on the premises of a mall, everything it's like a full moon. Everything is going crazy.
I mean, yeah. I don't, I, and see, like, I've never really heard of a mall being haunted. Like, not
Really?
super. I don't think.
Man, they're definitely super if you've ever been to an abandoned mall, I've only been a couple times, but w- first of all, I don't understand how malls are in business anymore. Let me little thing. There are two malls that I'm thinking of. One is Northgate in Cincinnati. That's where I'm from. I don't know that that mall exists anymore. Um, but for a while, similar to multiple other malls, they had like 5 businesses in it, but they had like 10, like, the food court was full. And there's never any people in there. There's maybe like 2 or 3 people sitting around. How do you have so many food establishments inside the dead malls? I don't get it. And then the
Yeah,
ones that trip me out are the furniture stores. All these malls have furniture stores, and you know damn well
yeah.
that nobody's going to the mall for furniture. There's no way. So it has to be like some sort of laundering thing, because I can't think of any. I've never seen anyone go into a furniture store in the mall other than to like look around, maybe. But most people just complete, like, what are you gonna look at? Furniture, seats, like, I don't know, man. It's wild.
Um, the last time I went to a mall, it was for um a restaurant and a bookstore.
Oh, that's cool.
And I think that's it.
Yeah, all of the malls that I've been to, one of them has like 6 stores in them, and then um I'm pretty sure Northgate is closed aside from there's like an arcade in there that was
Yeah,
when we went, we actually went on a field trip in my junior year of high school, and
okay.
I kid you not, I did not see a single other store in that mall. It was just the arcade. So we went to the arcade and nothing. Just that. It was we like they didn't have any lights on in the mall. It was all lit up by the skylight, like because they had like open glass windows on the top,
Mm, yeah.
every so often. But no, I don't I assume the water is running, but I didn't see like I'm pretty sure there was a fountain that didn't have any water in it. So I don't know. It was really weird, but obviously we were all geeked to go to the arcade, so we didn't care.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't understand how this place is in business. I don't understand. Unfortunately, that's just the way that malls are going. But I really like a good mall. But yeah, definitely there's some weird, goofy stuff. Like there's always. I feel like I always hear about shootings or hauntings or
The
um
aliens at the mall. Do you remember that?
what?
Oh my god. Let me
You
find
got
it.
aliens at your mall?
It wasn't, I think it was at a Las Vegas mall. Aliens at the mall.
Oh, that makes way more sense if it's
Miami.
in Vegas.
Miami.
Oh,
It was like it was never proven that it was like aliens. Um, hold on. Miami Mall alien. But so there was actual video evidence of like all of Miami police was there. It was like a good 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, upwards of 30 cars surrounding the mall. Um it was in 2024. Let me find a good article. 2024 in Miami. Here it is. On a warm January night in 2024, Miami's Bayside Marketplace erupted into confusion and panic. Shoppers sprinted between fronts while police sirens echoed across the waterfront promenade. Cell phone videos showed officers running through the complex, people ducking behind kiosks, flashes of blue-white light reflecting off glass storefronts. Within hours, the footage spread across X, TikTok, and YouTube alongside an extraordinary claim Miami was under attack by giant aliens.
What? And it happened on the 1st of January.
And that's crazy.
What a way to start off the year. How did I not hear about this?
It was just like a brief thing. But yeah, that happened at a mall.
They say that what actually happened, the case was released, and it says around 50 to 60 teenagers were engaged in fighting and setting off fireworks at the Bayside Marketplace, causing a chaotic, large-scale police response. But in the video, people were claiming to see 10-foot entities, but they kind of shrugged it off as distorted footage of civilians or police officers walking outside the mall with lighting and shadows, creating a shadowy being appearance. Which, I don't know, man. In some of these pictures, that doesn't look like distorted people. Wild. Yeah, no, man, malls, they attract some interesting characters and some interesting things happen there. I I don't know why. It's literally like a dome is around the mall and it's like a full moon when you walk in there.
Yeah,
It's mind blowing.
the mall has a full moon every day. That would be crazy.
Yeah. Holy cow. Well, thank you for the story. If you want to leave your stories, you can do that. We have a link in the description, essentially anywhere that you can listen to the podcast. And man, oh man, we've had some pretty interesting stories. That one really resonates with me though because I really do think that malls are this like strange entity in my head. Like every time I've been to a mall, something interesting has happened. So
They're
I
built
think like
different.
if you want, yeah, if you want to add some plot to your life, it just
Go to
go
the
to a
mall.
mall, and I guarantee you, if you go by yourself or with friends or whatever, like just look around and you'll like I don't know, you'll have a interesting time.
Hmm.
Tab, do you want to tell them what we're chatting about today?
Yeah. So the other day, I can't remember exactly what it was, but Eeg sent me something about astral projection, or was it lucid dreaming?
I think it was a combination of both.
Or either way, that's what we're getting into today. Astral projection and lucid dreaming. Do you
And
want to
I'm
tell us
super
what astral projection
yes,
is?
yes. So I was really interested on the topic because I think I saw a video on it, and then um, I put it in I put it in our like private Discord, but there's this YouTube channel called Astral Club. Um,
Okay.
if you go to YouTube, it's the exact handle is Astral Club 5964. And they have over 500 videos on different astral projection accounts. And they just go over stories. And almost all of them are below 2,000 views. Most of them are in the 800 or so range. And this guy is awesome. He goes into each of these stories and really does a deep dive. He gives the date, the time, what happened. You get some visuals, and man, there's a lot. It's over 500 videos. Um, all mostly, some of them are between 1 and 5 minutes, but most of them are like 10 plus minutes of experiences. And I just thought that that was so interesting, which is what led me down the rabbit hole. So, what astral projection is an intentional or spontaneous out of body experience, which actually has an abbreviation that a lot of people use. It's called an OBE, um, where a person's consciousness or their astral body detaches from their physical form to travel somewhere. And this is dated so far back into human history that you you would you wouldn't believe, like it has been a part of human history for a very long time. Unfortunately, and we've done an episode uh, talking about the Library of Alexandria, but it dates back to even before that burnt down. Like we have like
Ancient Egypt,
carvings,
Tibetan
yeah, like
monks.
all kinds of accounts of astral projection, or what we now would call that. And the reason I think that it's so interesting is it's used a lot for spiritual growth and like exploration, and I really like exploring things and going places and stuff like that, and getting into that like deep meditative state, um where your like mind is awake but your body is asleep, has always been like really crazy to me. Like, how does that work? How does that happen? And a lot of people who practice astral projection use a bunch of different techniques. Some is like visualization, and there's also something called the rope method, which I'll get into a little bit later.
I've tried that before.
Um, just kind of aiming to explore other realms and gain new perspectives, and it's really like a bunch of eye-opening experiences.
Yeah. This could also dabble a little bit into shifting. I don't know if you guys have heard of shifting before.
There's a lot of different shifting
But
too.
I was deep onto this one person's TikTok, and she was talking about how she shifted into the Harry Potter universe. I was like, uh-huh, okay. Oh yeah. Uh-huh. But I mean, hey, I guess anything can happen. I've never personally tried it, so.
That kind of gets into the when we did our Tulpa episode,
Mm-hmm.
and there were people who were making like My Little Pony tulpas and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I don't doubt that people are having these experiences, but I think it's very interesting when people are given the power to essentially either fabricate or shift into whatever they want, that they choose something that somebody else has already made. Like, I just think like you have to have such a connection or love for, like, say the Harry Potter universe to want to do that, when you could go to this other place that maybe nobody else has been to or knows about or whatever. And I don't know. Like, I don't want to call it bogus, but like, you chose this thing.
Yeah.
Like, why
I mean,
this thing?
if I had the option to go anywhere, I would check out everywhere. So maybe that's
I'd
just
be
their
going
first stop.
everywhere.
Their first
Yeah,
stop
it's
was the
like
Harry Potter universe, and they're like, okay, now let me go see the Avengers. I don't know, like.
yeah, exactly. Like, oh man. And I feel like a lot of people, just from like looking around, I could be wrong. I don't want to generalize too much, but from my research, a lot of people get into astral projection through lucid dreaming,
Mm-hmm.
and they are they want to understand how often can I do this? How can I do it more? And what is the extent of being able to lucid dream?
Mm-hmm.
And you quickly, if you go down the lucid dreaming Google rabbit hole, you'll find astral projection. Now, when you punch astral projection into something that isn't Google, for say DuckDuckGo or something where it doesn't filter out search results and stuff like that, or just give you the most clicked on stuff, you find some really interesting things. And as I was doing research, I came across the Reddit thread, and through the Reddit thread, I found that guy's YouTube channel. And I cannot stress it enough. If you are interested in astral projection whatsoever, like I said, this guy has done over 500 episodes, almost all of them over 10 minutes long. And some of them are just so crazy. Like, talks about souls reincarnating, are you a star seed, after death survival guide, universal laws, did an interview with mystics, how to create a thought form. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And he even does an episode 10 astral projection scams, touring an ancient Atlantean ship. Like, it is such a treasure trove of information. And I was like, I got a text tab. And,
Yeah.
and that's where I got that. That's where we're at now.
There was one story that I read one time about somebody. I don't know barely any of the details because I read it back when I actually tried to astral project, which I did use the rope method. It didn't work, by the way, not for me. I wasn't locked in enough. But somebody was trying to. They found themselves going towards Area 51. And there's been a lot of speculation in like the astral projection community whether you can actually make it inside of Area 51 or if the government is employing psychics that are creating like boundaries around Area 51.
Damn, they thought of
Um,
everything.
I know, because
How
like
am I
a
supposed
lot
to
of
get in there?
people, exactly, a lot of people have said that they couldn't make it into Area 51 while astral projecting because there's some sort of blockage there. I think one person claimed that they bounced off of like a an astral dome. I was deep in high school with astral projection. And that was one of the things that always like stuck out to me, and something that I remembered is that you can astral project, sure, but you can't get into Area 51.
Do you? So you've attempted it before.
I've tried, yes.
Have
Um,
you gotten anywhere with it?
no, I tried once, and then I think I gave up. I will say, around the time when I was trying to astral project, that's when I was having sleep paralysis.
Mm. Do you also think that because there's a lot of visualization, do you think that the you having aphantasia affects the ability to astral project?
Which, okay, so that is something that I've been thinking about recently because I've had, especially when we started talking about how we were going to talk about lucid dreamings or lucid dreaming today, I've had lucid dreams. Like, I've had dreams that felt real. So,
Hmm.
is that in correlation? with aphantasia, or
I
do
so
dreams not line up with that?
it so it's obviously happening in your head. I'm not sure is my answer. I think you could go either way, but I feel like aphantasia is when you aren't able to visualize things in your head. But I also have, after we did that episode, I kept doing a little bit of research and I found out that some people with aphantasia still dream. So I wonder what the difference is between being able to visualize things and seeing things when you're dreaming. Because I feel like if you have aphantasia and you're able to dream, those two things probably cross, and you could probably visualize thoughts given enough time and practice because you're dreaming.
Maybe it's
So
a
it's not,
subconscious block of some sort.
yeah, maybe it's a traumatic response, maybe it's just a way that you learned how to think like my brother has it. And when I'm like, when you recall information, how do you do that? He's like, I just do it. I'm like, okay, get fucked. I wish I could do that.
I just remember it. I don't know.
Yeah, he's like, it's not deeper than just remembering things. Come on. I just wish, I don't know. I have ADHD and can't imagine, just being able to recite and regurgitate information like that without like visualizing things.
hmm
Uh, but before we veer off, I want to talk about the rope method because I feel like a lot of people, when they are getting into astral projection, this is a pretty widespread method, and it's a it's a holy cow. Astral projection's rope method is a visualization technique that was kind of designed to separate the astral body from the physical body by literally imagining climbing a rope that's hanging from the ceiling. So, again, if you have aphantasia, I feel like astral projection is probably going to be pretty difficult for you because it is pretty heavy on visualizing things. And if you're unable to do that, especially in a detailed way, like for me, I've never tried it. I kind of want to after researching it, but I'm also, I also, of course, being the anxious person that I am, went super deep
What if I
and
can't
heard
find
that
my way back?
exactly. There are people that get stuck there or know people that are stuck there, and that terrifies me. I don't want to go to some realm that I have no understanding or concept of how it works and then have a bad time and be stuck there. That sounds like a nightmare. So I don't know. I really want to try it, but it's really interesting. I'm skeptical of a lot of things. And Tab presents these things to me, and normally I start off, that's there's no way. I need evidence. And then Tab is like, here's evidence. And then I'm like, this is
this,
crazy.
this is
but
insane.
but when you like, I'm very much like I want to see it or feel it or be able, like, I want there to be a measurable thing to be
hmm
like, this exists. And then when you send me anything, I'm like, oh, this isn't just some make believe thing that somebody made up in their garage while they were like stoned or something. Like, this is a real thing that whenever multiple parties have a similar experience, that's when my brain is like, this could be real. And I turn from a skeptic to somebody. I always want to learn, but I turn from somebody who's skeptical, who's like, that's some shenanigans, to I want to figure out that if this is real.
hmm
And that's kind of how I felt about astral projection. I immediately, though, Like, this is something that I truly believe. This exists. Most people can probably do it, and it is an incredibly interesting and helpful tool.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think um it would be fun. If you want to learn how to astral project, by the way, there is a wiki how. Has 11 steps with pictures, by the way. Oh god. But yeah, I just think it's cool that it's tied more so into like spirituality. Um, because we were talking about how like if you look into lucid dreaming, you'll eventually get to astral projection. And apparently lucid dreaming is like something, for the lack of a better word, real, in the sense that there are actual studies done on it. That you can't, like, at least 55% of people experience at least one lucid dream in their lifetime, with
That's it?
roughly 23% experiencing them regularly.
What? No
Mm-hmm.
way. So, wait. So, almost half of the people on the planet never experience one?
Yeah. It's saying here that it's more common in children and in individuals with narcolepsy, which is interesting
Whoa.
to me. Um,
I'm neither of those.
yeah, no, I mean, no, but that would make sense in the sense that one, if you did it as a child, you're probably not gonna remember, um, and or you're not necessarily gonna know what it was,
Mm.
and two, most people don't remember their dreams to begin with.
What?
Yeah.
Do you have a stat on that?
I do not, but I can get one.
Yeah. What percentage of people that dream remember their dreams? I'm very interested.
Approximately 70% of people can recall at least some of their dreams, though the frequency varies widely.
Wow. If you are listening to this right now, and well, obviously, if you're listening to this, it would be right now. Whatever. That was a stupid way to present that. But if you ever, ever wake up and you know you just had a dream, please, as a thought experiment, even if you don't believe in it, write down your dream. Because I firmly believe, after reading about a bunch of astral projection and different psychology and stuff like that, all of your dreams, no matter how wacky and weird and much you believe that they don't make any sense, like, you can probably dissect something because it's literally your brain most of the time trying to tell you something that you need. Like, maybe you see
Subconsciously,
this. Yeah, maybe you see the sun, and that's literally the whole dream. Like, you're sitting in your house and you see the sun. Maybe that's your brain saying, "Hey,
please
you
go
could use a
outside
little more."
and touch some
Yeah,
grass.
you could use some vitamin D, brother. So I just
Yeah.
it, get a dream journal. I swear.
I can
I don't have
actually
one,
attest to this.
but
In high school, while I was trying to astral project, I had an app on my phone. I think it was literally just called Journal, and I would record every single dream I had, no matter how
no
weird.
way.
There was one dream, it's really funny because I remember it because I wrote it down. It was um everybody was in bear costumes, and I think we went to like rob a store. But we ended up not actually robbing the store. It Regardless, okay? if you record your dreams and like I am proven testament. During the time that I was recording my dreams, it went from me recalling a dream every 2 weeks, every week, just one a week, to every single day I would wake up and be like, wow, I had this dream. Wow, I had this dream. I had this dream. And you could tell I was so mad whenever I had to get a new phone because that app didn't have anything to like carry it over to the next phone. It didn't back up or whatever. So I
There's
lost
no
all of it.
way.
I lost absolutely all of
No.
it. But it went from me remembering a dream, maybe one dream a week, to I was waking up and writing down a dream every single day.
Yes.
So it is
It
true.
sounds like you were getting close to a breakthrough. You were
Maybe
dreaming every night. It's very. And here's another thing that I want to talk about. So I am unsure if I've brought this guy up on the podcast, but I've definitely talked to Tab about it. Um, there's a guy named Brian Johnson,
oh
and
god.
Tab.
this
I've talked to
guy.
Tab. Yeah, he is on this adventure in his life. He like founded like part of PayPal and all kinds of stuff. He has a bunch of money basically, and he started doing research, and he's basically working on longevity. So he goes through all of these tests and does all this stuff, and he says that sleep is the most important thing that you can do for your body. And getting your between 7 and 9 hours of sleep is super important. And that's true. Sleep is, it repairs your body. It's very important. And he has this perfect sleep score and this and that. But I've never heard him start talking about dreams, which made me wonder, is good sleep, do you have dreams if you're getting good sleep or bad sleep? And it's very mixed. It's dreams are just kind of random, I thought. So Brian Johnson just recently, this is really crazy. He started doing mushrooms because there are a ton of health benefits, he says, from doing mushrooms. He did it on a live stream, and I think he's done it a few times. I digress, but he's been having more visual interactions during his sleep. But he doesn't. I haven't seen him call them dreams. I don't know why. I feel like he just doesn't like the word dream. Maybe that's aside from the point. But it brings me to the question: do you, when you had your dreams, did you feel like you got good sleep, or do you feel like it was your body saying, "Hey, I can't get good sleep because I'm thinking about this thing"?
I'm gonna be real. I have no clue. Because it was back in high school, so it was a bit ago, to be honest. I will say, that was again around the time that I was having sleep paralysis. So I would say
Have
it
you
wasn't that great.
what about like recently?
Recently, I
Yeah.
actually, really funny, I've been having a lot more dreams recently.
Hmm.
And I've been waking up earlier than I usually do. So I can probably say that I've been getting pretty decent sleep.
Do you this will make sense. Do you set alarms?
I do.
Okay. I found out that if you don't set alarms and you have a normal sleep schedule slash job flow, like not third shift. if you work first or second shift, um, you're you will resort if you don't use any artificial lights in your life, you will resort to 4 hours of sleep and then wake up for 1 to 2 hours. And your brain is basically in this trippy, nonsensical, but like you're just vibing. Like your brain lights up like a Christmas tree, and it's just pure bliss and peace. And then you go back to sleep for 4 hours. And apparently, that will only happen if you don't use any artificial lights. You have a normal sleep schedule, like during the nighttime. And that's why a lot of people who go camping will document that after a few days, because there's no artificial light when you're camping, aside from maybe a flashlight, but a lot of people don't use those. Um, if you get rid of all artificial light, after a few days, your body resorts to waking up in the middle of the night. And the reason for that is literally like over the couple 100,000 years that humans have kind of been doing their thing, that was their sleep schedule. And that's when people would tell stories. That's when people would be the most creative. That's when people would be the most happy. And I was like, no way, this is crazy. They also experience dreams essentially every night. If
Hmm.
you are in that flow state, and there was a study done where essentially 99% of people, unless you're an outlier, if you do not experience any artificial light for, I think it was like 4 days, anything after that, and no alarms, no nothing, like you're not startling yourself awake or anything like that, you will have those dreams. And it's really, really interesting stuff. And I really want to just take all the lights out and
Yeah.
see what happens. But you know, I just thought that that was insane.
I mean, that makes sense. Because I remember reading something one time along the same lines of how you're only supposed to sleep for like your sleep schedule is supposed to be multiple naps throughout the day. Like you're not supposed to get all 8 hours in like one go.
Oh, speaking
Which
of that, you kind of have an interesting sleep schedule from time to time with
I woke
when
up
we
at ten
like
a.m. today.
yeah, you frequently like you live and die by naps.
Yeah, I flip my schedule on the weekends, like on the days
How
that I'm off.
how long have you been doing that?
Um, Probably for a good few months, I'd say. At least a year
And
actually, because that's how
do
long I've been on the schedule.
do you feel like you, to the best of your knowledge, have gotten pretty decent sleep when you flip and do those naps?
Yeah.
That's so interesting. I mean, psychology just all of these like historians and psychologists they would back that up because like you said, we are not meant to sleep 8 hours a day. Like we we have been drilled to work on the 24-hour time scale, and you work 8 hours, so you sleep 8 hours, of course, right? And it's
Mm-hmm.
just so bad. Like there's so many bad things that we have done as a society as we've evolved to ruin our brains. I also, this is
True.
not related to astral projection or lucid dreaming whatsoever, but in the same video, I found that 80% of people will have chronic back pain in their life. And the reason for that is because we rapidly evolved so quickly that our biology was like, "Hey, yo, why we standing up?" and our spines just never developed that way. So, if you don't experience chronic back pain, congratulations, you have won the genetic lottery.
I can't say I have one. Everything aches.
I've been pretty safe so far. But yeah, I kind of want to. Do you have a story that you want to get into?
Specifically about, and not necessarily a story, but a phenomena that occurs in lucid dreaming. So, I have had multiple dreams like this, and when I am lucid dreaming, which basically just means you are aware that you are dreaming, and usually that allows you to have some control over the dream. So you can pick where you want to go. You're controlling the dream, basically. When I have had lucid dreams, in the sense of more so, I haven't necessarily controlled my dream, but I've been aware that I'm dreaming. One specific one that I recount, but I've had multiple where it has ended this way. There, there was a political election in my, maybe not an election. It was a rally. So there was a stage that was set up in my apartment's parking lot, and somebody was giving a speech. I don't know who it was. It wasn't anybody that I recognized. And I was in the crowd. I was just there. Well, I stepped out of my apartment door, and I was like, "Hello, what is going on?" And I was like, "This isn't real. This has to be a dream." And but I stumbled into the crowd anyway because I was like, "Okay, well, what's going on? What's happening in this dream?
Of
This is
course.
really weird." And so I'm just walking through the crowd, and I'm just like, "Okay, this is really weird." And something that I have specifically noted when I have tried lucid dreaming and astral projection is a way that you can know that you're in a dream is numbers aren't real. You can't read numbers. If you look at a clock, you look at any type of numbers, you look at any type of lettering, it's as if AI generated it. It's not
I never thought about that.
like the time will be way off. You won't be able to tell what time it is. You'll be staring at the clock and you'll be like, "What is it saying? What time is it? What is this trying to tell me?" But anyway, I look up at the stage and there's
Huh.
some, like a bunch of numbers, like, and I'm like, what are those numbers? I've never seen those before. I'm like, okay, that just again confirms that I'm dreaming. And so I'm just, like, okay, I'll play along. Like, what is this? This is who's who's giving this speech? And nobody had faces that were. It was very much like it was AI. Like early AI, everybody's faces were skewed, didn't look real. I was like, okay, interesting. And then I finally did like find some familiar people in the crowd, like people in my life that I have met, my friends, whatever. So I walk up to him, just stand next to him. I don't want to say anything because it's kind of weird. I'm in a dream, and one of them leans over and is like, "Don't tell anybody." And I was like, "Huh? What are you talking about?" And they're like, don't tell anybody you're dreaming." And I was like, "Okay." And then the crowd disappears, and it's just me and this friend. And they're like, "We have to get in the car," and I'm like, "Okay, get in the car." Sure. So we get in the car, we go to pull out, and then my friend leans over to my ear and goes, "Wake up." And I woke up. And I would just like to talk about that phenomenon because I've had multiple dreams where somebody has looked at me dead in the face and been like, "Wake up," or "You need to wake up," or "Don't tell
Hmm.
anybody you're dreaming right now." And I have seen multiple posts about the same thing. Like people being told not to tell anybody in their dreams that they're dreaming. Or people being told to wake up because something is happening or something like blah 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 blah.
Hmm.
And it scares me every time, I'm not gonna lie. It turns into a nightmare. Like Not like actively turns into a nightmare, but I wake up and my heart's racing and I'm like, oh my god, that's scary, you guys. What
Hmm.
happened with that? Um,
There's a lot to unpack there.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
one, I didn't know that you couldn't read things or numbers.
Yep.
Is that are there because I swear if I think really hard, I feel like I've seen numbers before, but I
While
can't
clocks
back
and
that up with
watches
anything.
can appear in dreams, they often do not show the correct time. Checking the time can lead to waking up.
Whoa.
They frequently display nonsensical or incorrect times. This phenomenon is common and can serve as a cue for dreamers to realize they are dreaming, potentially leading to lucidity.
Hmm.
Um, the fluid nature of time in dreams is often perceived as like disordered. Minutes in waking life can stretch into what feels like hours in a dream, vice versa. This distortion reflects the subconscious mind's processing of experiences and emotions rather than adhering to the strict passage of time we experience while awake. Um,
That makes sense to me because there's no way if you fall asleep and start dreaming, you are never going to be able to tell me how much time has passed. Unless it's a lucky guess. There's just no
yeah,
way. Because some dreams, man, feel like
for
forever and
literally
some are like
hours.
super quick.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, there are definitely dreams where I don't know if it's just because I've went through different settings in that dream, but have like days have gone by.
Oh yeah.
And it's really, I mean, dreams are so weird.
Um, so the checking the time can lead to lucid dreaming, as well as if you have something that you wear constantly, like a bracelet or like a necklace or something, usually you have to start practicing throughout your waking life. Um, in terms of just grabbing your necklace and like looking down, grabbing your bracelet and looking down. And it's like routine checks that you have to do throughout the day before you go to sleep. So when you go to sleep, that's already ingrained into your brain. Oh, I'm on a routine. I need to look down and check this. And if you do that in the dream and it's gone, that's how you know that you're dreaming.
Do you think that the numbers thing has to do with being man made?
Could be. Have you heard about like atomic clocks and how they're all off from whatever we have our time set to right now?
Um, aren't the atomic clocks supposed to be the super accurate ones?
That are never supposed to be set. They just
Hmm.
adapt to, I think it's the poles of the earth.
Mm, okay. I don't think I knew that.
Mm. Um, I know that I've seen a bunch of videos of atomic clocks and how they're not syncing with what our current time is. Like it's hours off. And so a lot of people think that like time is being sped up or something.
But it's actually just like the poles.
In theory, nobody really knows why the atomic clocks are off. I haven't really
Oh.
like looked too much into it. The videos that I have seen have been talking about how for some reason time is speeding up and that's why our days feel like they're going faster. But
Hmm.
it's only because of like our digital clocks and like the clocks that we set and blah 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 blah. The atomic clock says that we're like, I don't know, like it would be like 4 p.m. right now or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I find a lot of stuff that we as a society have made is just not good. uh, that's
Yeah.
the end of the sentence.
I mean,
It's like
true.
we created time. We created language. We created math. And the only thing amongst those three things that is likely consistent across the entire universe and maybe other universes is math. Like that is the only thing. Like 2 plus 2 on another planet would have to equal 4 if you want to make a rocket. Like that's just how it is. Now they might use a different system, but they'd get the same math. Like pi to us is pi to them, and so on and so forth, because it makes the uh whatever that spiral is that I can never remember the name of. But
Um,
language
the
and
golden
stuff,
ratio, the Fibonacci
uh,
sequence.
the Fibonacci sequence, yeah. They the interesting thing about dreams that I've experienced, because I dream a lot. A lot, a lot, a lot. And for me, I find that most of my dreams don't have useless information in them. Like it's it's usually very useful for me when I wake up. Um a lot of it is normally when I've been like traumatized, and my brain does a really good job of working through that via dreams. So, a really small one, when my grandma had her heart attack and she passed away, I
Mm-hmm.
had a lot of dreams. And the biggest one that I remember was when after that happened. I don't remember how long after this one was, but it's the one I remember the most because it was like the most random. But we were sitting in this park, but it was all like white, and it was just the gazebo thing. So it was just all white and a gazebo, and it was me, my grandma, and my grandpa, and the language didn't even make sense. They were just saying, "We love grandson. We love grandson. We love grandson." We're all holding hands and going in a circle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "What the fuck is going on? I'm glad that you guys love me, but what the fuck? What do you? Why are we going in a circle in the middle of this gazebo saying we love grandson? That's not even a complete sentence. Do you love
Yeah.
your grandson? Do you love? Do I have a grandson? Like, am I the grandson that you love? I assume that I am because I'm here. But
Where's the
I'm like,
grandson?
yeah, I'm like, where's my brother? He's a grandson. Why is he not here? So like, it was a really trippy dream, but it was after my grandma passed away, and I was still, relatively young at this point. I think I was 16, 17.
Mm-hmm.
But no matter what, when someone you love passes away, sometimes, it's traumatic. But I saw her in the hospital when she was like, they said that she was brain dead basically, and she had tubes in her mouth and stuff, and I'm pretty sure that messed me up pretty bad. So I think my brain, to try and make me not like kill myself or something. I don't know what my brain was trying to do. Um, but I think it was trying to protect me, and that weirdly, even though it was a very strange dream, really helped me a lot. And it's still sad, but that dream was super duper interesting to me.
Hmm.
But it really did help. Like I truly think that if you maybe some people's dreams aren't as on the nose, perhaps, but I think a lot of them can be used to kind of help you, and you should, like I said, write them down. Maybe go to somebody that can interpret your dreams if you write them down. There are people that do that. I'm unsure if they are a scam, but
Hmm.
I don't think so because I think if you came up to me with a dream, I'd be able to maybe tell you something useful. So I'm sure that someone much more, you know, professional who's been doing it for a while would be able to tell you something. Um,
Seasoned on the subject.
yeah, yeah, I really do believe that dreams are a really powerful thing, and I don't think you'd be having them if your brain wasn't trying to tell you something because you're not, you know, even if it's a lucid dream, and you're just counting forever. Maybe, your brain is trying to tell you that you have OCD and you should go get diagnosed. I don't know.
You got taxes to do.
Yeah, but you can't see any of the numbers. You
That's
actually owe
crazy.
$322,000 in taxes. Your brain's like, nah, you can't see the numbers. It doesn't matter. It's okay. They're all just made up anyway.
I mean, yeah. That's goofy.
Um, I guess there's just a lot of really random dreams, but I think that dreaming and astral projection are pretty closely related.
Agreed. I do think so. I think dreaming and recording your dreams turns into lucid dreaming, and then after you've gotten the hang of lucid dreaming, then you can get into astral projection. And I think that there's a pathway there.
I have a story from the same Reddit thread where I found that YouTube channel.
Oh yeah.
So this guy on Reddit, he goes by Astral Dad, and Astral Dad 53 says that I have done it 62 times, but only once a few times ago. I went somewhere that was profound and not just like neighborhoods, water, or weird buildings. I went to outer space. Um, and he notes that he was smiling the whole time and just wanted to giggle while he like flew through the stars. He says it felt as if very light, warm, but abundant amounts of rain were hitting me as I flew, almost like there was moisture in the space, and it tickled me everywhere in a good way as I flew. I saw so many stars, I never wanted it to end, and I began searching for Earth or a planet, thinking it would be so amazing to head towards one and see it getting closer and closer. But I heard a loud bang as if someone was on the other side of my wall and threw something against it. And I was still fully there, but I began to scare, thinking either something was happening in real life or something was telling me to get out of where I was at. So I reluctantly came back to my body. He says it may not sound super special, but it was something I'll never forget, and it was just so freeing and beautiful. However, I saw no other alien or human, etc., nothing but stars and the feeling of the rain or whatever it was sparkling all over me as it happened, and I wonder if he peed his pants.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying.
Oh no.
I wonder if the bang was his body trying to get him up because he has to piss.
The bang reminded me of like exploding head syndrome, which I think I have that as well. But
What is that?
you hear like loud noises as you're falling asleep.
Exploding head syndrome is a benign, often painless parasomnia characterized by hearing a sudden, intense, loud noise like a gunshot explosion or scream while falling asleep or waking up. Despite its scary name, it's a sensory hallucination, and the condition is often triggered by extreme stress, exhaustion, or disruptions in sleep cycles. Whoa.
Yeah.
So what is yours? Does yours sound like a bang or a
It
gunshot
sounds
or?
like stuff just falling. Like
Hmm.
sometimes it sounds like somebody just like banging on the side of the house with like an iron fist. I
I
have
feel
had one where there was an explosion. Um,
I
I've
feel
had
they needed. Sorry, go ahead.
I
I
was gonna
hate this
get I
name.
just recalled this crazy dream that I had in like middle school. Okay, this was the first time I've ever experienced it, and I have no idea what it was. It was near the end of the world when I was about to turn 12. 2012? Yeah, December 21st, 2012. I was about to turn 12. It was the end of the Mayan calendar, so I was already kind of scared of
Oh my god.
everything.
Okay, sorry, continue. I have a
Yeah.
2012 thing too.
But I was having a dream. I lived in an apartment at the time, and me and my dad were just outside playing catch in like the apartment lawn. And I guess I was scared of the end of the world because in my dream there was like a meteor, like a huge meteor that was gonna basically wipe out the earth. And whenever it impacted the ground, um, I physically felt a shock wave over my whole body, and I woke up from it. And
Whoa.
I have like never had a dream like that again, but I physically felt like it was so distinct. Like I feel like I have felt a real shock wave in my life. You know what I mean? Like it felt it like it was like those rides at the fair where it like spins and you get like stuck to the wall. But it was like in a wave. Like you could see it coming, kind of like a mirage. And then when it got to me, it felt like that ride. It just went up my whole body, and then I woke up, and I was like,
Hmm.
but I've never felt anything physically after that dream, like in a dream, like you know what I mean.
Hmm.
It was so weird.
Hmm. Yeah, that's really interesting. The 2012 thing was really weird. I remember I was um when that happened, I, nothing related to the end of the world or anything, but I remember that day my grandma was watching this documentary on Albert Einstein, and I remember I was so proud of myself. Keep in mind I was like 11 years old, so I was grown. I should have probably been acting a little more mature at this point, but I heard E equals MC squared, and I just ran around in fucking circles like the ADHD bastard that I am, just reciting energy, energy, E equals MC squared, E equals MC squared. Like I'm a fucking genius that discovered that formula, and my grandma was like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like she was so nice. I love her to death, but I lost my marble. Probably because I subconsciously was like, wow, we're gonna die, and my little baby 11-year-old brain was like, I don't know how to process that. I'm just gonna run in circles. So
I spent my
I
whole
don't
birthday thinking I was gonna die.
know.
My whole birthday. I was like, oh my god,
Holy
I
shit.
was texting everybody. I was like, hey, I love you guys, by the way. I think I'm gonna die. We're gonna die. We're all gonna die.
That's amazing how completely different our experiences that day were. I was just being incredibly like off the rails, and you actually just thought that you were gonna die.
Yeah, it was like my
I
whole birthday
probably
is
did too.
ruined. Today's the end of the end of the world.
Yeah, yeah. And when you're like 11 or 12 years old, you're not thinking like, "Oh man, what does dying mean?" You're just like, "I'm not gonna have another birthday.
Yeah, dude,
I'm not getting
it
presents
was it
next
was
year."
so messed up. The fact that that day was on my actual birthday,
Yeah.
and I had to spend my whole day my whole birthday thinking about, oh my god, we're gonna die today. Like what?
Yeah. I also when you know that song, it's like it's the end of the world as we
Mm-hmm.
know it. When COVID happened, that song started playing like
Oh my
that
god.
day, and I was like,
Oh.
this can't be a coincidence. And then I found out about the coronavirus, and I was like, oh shit.
Dude, I don't know if I've told this story on this podcast yet, but I tell it to like everybody. On the topic of like very coincidental things happening, right? In I can't remember, I think it was 8th grade. I was waking up for school. And I just want to preface with I did have one window facing where the event was happening. But there was nothing reflecting off of my window that made me think that it wasn't just the streetlight. Okay? So I just want to put this out there. There was nothing that I don't think there was anything subconsciously affecting why I was like this. Okay? So I woke up, I was like, "Oh, I got to go to school." Hopped in the shower. In the shower, 8th grade, I was what? 13, 14. I don't know. I was singing Burn Baby Burn. Um I get out of the shower and I can't remember who tells me, but they're like, "Yeah, you're not going to school today. The whole road is blocked off." I was like, "Well, what? Why?" And they're like, "Yeah, look outside." I looked outside and the neighbor across my house, um her house is engulfed in flames.
Oh,
Fully the whole house is up in flames. And I'm like, "Oh, um now I feel bad for singing this song. Um, is she okay? No. She did pass away inside of that house.
oh,
Um, she died from smoke inhalation though, so she didn't burn to death.
yeah,
However, I was incredibly tweaked out for I think a few months after that,
yeah.
because that's not a normal song that I would sing in the shower. So I'm like, why,
No,
why today of all days was I singing this song? And then I get out of the shower and find out that my neighbor's house is completely on fire.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
interesting.
It's really. Do you think that you have like psychic abilities?
I don't know. If I did, it would be the one that like is clear knowing.
Like
Sometimes I do just be
clairvoyance,
like knowing shit. I think it's clear sentient.
clairsentient. I think I have the one where you're able to like see into the future.
I can gaze into the future.
And
Mm,
let me
mm,
tell you
mm.
why. When and this is my last story. We're gonna have to do another episode on astral projection and lucid dreaming because there's this is a deep one. When I was in fourth, fifth grade, I had a dream where someone dropped a pencil in class, and that was it. That was the dream. But it was a very vivid dream. Like I remembered like the clothes I was wearing, the pencil where I was at in the classroom, and that was my seat, obviously. And I didn't think anything of it. Obviously, I'm in fourth, fifth grade. My dumbass is always dreaming. And a few days later, I am wearing the same clothes that I was wearing in my dream, and at least the people around me were wearing the same clothes that they were wearing in the dream. And I don't know what compelled me to do it, but the pencil fell off the desk, and I remember looking at it and being like, is this deja vu or is this the dream? And I remember being unsettled for a few weeks after that because I was like, do I have a superpower?
Yeah. That's called premonition.
Premonition. I definitely have that because that has happened to me on multiple occasions. And I feel like if I practiced and just kind of let my brain do its thing, that there would be like a lot of stuff. But I wouldn't say that I'm like a psychic or a medium probably, but maybe that's my sixth sense. I think a lot of people have a sixth sense for sure.
Mm-hmm. I looked
And
up
I
all the
think it
clears.
might be different. Oh, yes, tell us.
Okay. So there's 6 of them, apparently.
Set us up. Set us up.
Okay. So there's clairvoyance, clairaudience, claircognizance, clairsentience, gustance, ants, gustance. Okay. And clairalience. Clairvoyance is having clear seeing. Someone sees through the third eye between their two eyes. Um, Flashes, images, something like a movie film, what's happening in the past, present, or future. Clear audience, having clear hearing, someone who hears information within the mind, not the ears. Basically, it's telepathic information coming into one's mind. Sometimes people will hear this as a regular voice, as if someone is speaking to them. Clear cognizance is having clear knowing. Someone has information or knowledge of something that they do not actually know. Thoughts come out of nowhere, popping into one's mind and giving information about something that might happen or has happened, whatever. Clear sentience, having clear feeling. Someone can feel the information within them. An example of this would be if someone is having an anxiety attack and the clear sentient person feels this in their own chest. Clear gustance, having clear tasting. Someone can taste something that isn't really there. For example, someone tastes chocolate, but they are not actually eating any chocolate. Clear aliens, having clear smelling. Someone who can smell odors that are not present. An example of this would be to smell some perfume or cigar, but neither of these things are present in the moment. I think I have claircognizance and maybe clairsentience. Well, I have one of those, if not both.
Hmm.
I feel like, um, only because like, and it could just be common pattern recognition, but I'd be walking into rooms and I'm like, oh, y'all were arguing. Oh, y'all were going at it. Huh. And sometimes
Yeah.
I feel like I know things that I'm not supposed to know, but I
Hmm.
know them, and I'm like, hmm, okay. Like if there's a situation going on and I'm not directly in the middle of it, I'm usually, I would say, and I'm gonna be honest about this, I would say 75% correct every time. I'm like, I think this is what's going on. And I'm
Hmm.
usually right. Usually.
I feel like I'm pretty good at that as well. It's pretty hard to get one over me, I feel like. And if there's like a situation going on, I- it's kind of like a spider sense. I'm like, something ain't right.
Something ain't right.
Something's going on. Um, yeah, man, we even hardly got into the astral projection part.
Yeah.
I mean, lucid dreaming is a big topic, so I'm glad that we busted that out. Maybe we do like a part two.
Ooh, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah. I there's I it's so deep though. Like I don't know. That gives me time to maybe decide if I want to try it or not.
Yeah, maybe try it out this week. We'll both try it and then we'll report back next Sunday.
Yeah, Tab's been trying to do it for a
Since
year
high
and then
school.
yeah. So if anyone's gonna have anything to come back with, it'll probably be Tab, but who knows?
I
Maybe
don't think
I'm
so.
pro
I don't think
maybe
so.
do you think it takes like a certain type of person? Or why do you think you weren't able to do it? I feel like if you were dedicating time to do it, it would have happened.
I will be real. I wasn't as locked in as I probably should have been. Like I maybe tried it. I actively tried the rope method maybe 3 times.
Okay.
Maybe. Like it wasn't. I was more so focused on making sure that I was dreaming, recording my dreams so I could remember my dreams, and then I think I tried to get into lucid dreaming first, and that worked. I did get into lucid dreaming. Um, I've had quite a few lucid dreams that
Hmm.
have been really weird, even like recent, because the lucid dream where I was at my apartment complex would have maybe been about like a year or two ago. Um, and then there was another one that I feel like I've had recently, like within the past year, but I can't remember it. I've slacked
Hmm.
off on tracking my dreams, I'll be honest.
Yeah. I feel like I've low key kind of slacked off on just like all of the more like eclectic and spiritual stuff that I wanted to get into just because of, miscellaneous things going on, but I really want to make that more of a centerpiece of my life. I think that it would be I would get a lot of really interesting results. But I enjoy being the skeptic that I am and continuously being proven wrong. I really love I, that's my last thing. I love 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 when I'm wrong about something and someone educates me on stuff because it just makes me in a weird way feel very human. It's
Period.
like you don't know everything, and I like being contrary to popular belief. I love being told that I'm wrong about stuff. So I really do appreciate, especially because you've educated me on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of my friends,
Human design.
I've I've s- I've surrounded myself with a lot of different types of people, and they give me a bunch of different perspectives, and they educate me on a bunch of stuff. Like I have a buddy that does woodworking and does research on mushrooms, not like the tripping balls mushrooms, but like the random ones you'll find on like a hike. And we'll just go on a hike and he'll just educate me on these and I'll be like, I didn't know any of that. That's pretty sick. So I really enjoy, being educated. And a lot of this podcast is, live learning. Like you're learning with us. And I think that's really cool. But at the same time, when a topic really like stands out to me, I'll do a good amount of research beforehand. And that's kind of what happened this time because I was like, I literally sent it to Tab, and I never do that. Tab is normally the one that sends me everything, like 95% of the time. So when I sent it, I was like, we gotta do this. And I can tell, like, my energy is different because I was like,
Yeah.
I know I can contribute. I know what we're talking about.
I looked this
So,
up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I looked this up. Write that down, write that down. So, yeah, that's all I got.
Period. Well, thank you so much for watching and listening to Midnight Oil Podcast. You can find us on quite literally any streaming service. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. Anywhere you want to listen, you can listen. You can listen. Okay. And please be sure to listen. Please, I'm begging. Actually, I'm being held hostage. There's somebody
Please
behind me.
listen.
There's somebody
Please.
behind me. Please. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. We are live every Sunday, 6 p.m. here on twitch.tv/Midnight Oil Entertainment. So if you want to hang out with us live, you can do that as well. But yeah, that's all today. Good night.
Good night.
Chalet.
Good job, everybody. Everyone give yourselves a round of applause.
I feel like that was a really good outro.
That was a very good outro. That was a very good episode. I think we killed it.
Period. Let's catch up with chat real quick.
Yes, please.
I was actively like researching the Russian sleep experiment like while we were sitting there talking.
That flew. Am
That
I
is
crazy?
like, huh?
That flew. We flew like
I mean,
that
yeah,
hour was gone.
hour and a half.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was sitting there researching the Russian sleep experiment the whole time. I do eventually want to talk about the Russian sleep experiment. I'll just need to do like a little bit more research on it. Maybe we can do like the Russian sleep experiment and Unit 731 sometime. Let me pull that up. Actually,
Unit 731. It deserves a whole episode. Yeah, we'll have to do that. Yeah, dude, there's just so much. I really thought, but man, like astral projection is a big topic, and lucid dreaming, like, it's just so deep. All of it's so deep.
well, okay, so the Russian sleep experiment was the creepypasta. Whenever I looked up the Russian sleep study, the Russian sleep experiment is what popped up. Like, I can't find anything about the Russian sleep study versus experiment. If you guys find any links, definitely shoot them my way. Because I've only found the creepypasta Russian sleep experiment thing. I'm trying myself to not piss on myself, guess how? I've gotten lucky. I've had a lot of, like, pissing myself dreams. And, like, I think I've yet to wake up without pissing myself, at least in my adult age. But, like, I always wake up, like, right after, and I'm like, oh, I actually have to go piss. There's been, like, a few dreams that I've had where, like, I have, psychological effects of sleep deprivation. Psychological effects of the Russian sleep study. Okay.
Sleep deprivation is crazy.
Yeah, you start like hallucinating.
You hallucinate, and it's weird as shit. What's the longest you've stayed up?
Probably only like 24 hours. Maybe like a day and a half.
Okay. I don't think I've stayed up past 2 days.
I don't think so either. I know.
I
I
think I can
think it's
count
after
on
day
one
3.
hand. I can count on one hand the amount of times that I've stayed up for 24 hours. I haven't done it that much.
When do you start hallucinating without sleep? I think it's day 3. Yes. Complex hallucinations between 48 hours and 72 hours of wakefulness. You start having complex.
As far as lucid dreaming goes, I've trained myself not to piss on myself. Guess how? I've woken up screaming and ran to the bathroom.
I feel it. I feel it.
Oh, that's awesome.
48
Yeah,
hours.
there's a lot
That's
of
horrible.
stuff. Um, word. So next episode, do we want to go over the Russian sleep experiment and astral projection part two?
Yeah, I'm done. I'll have to find the Russian sleep study. Um, I think I found something, but I didn't click on the link yet. We may be onto something.
We might be cooking.
I think the Russian sleep experiment was, at least the creepypasta, was supposed to be like an MK Ultra derivative. At least
36
from like what I
hours on
learned.
guard duty. Whoa. Um, but word. I I feel really good. I kind of want to go watch more of that guy. I really do. I swear, the Astral Club guy. I'm gonna put the link in chat actually because I really do think that it's such an like. I love finding niche YouTube channels. This is really cool. Like even if you aren't into astral projection, this guy, like what this guy is doing is crazy. He recently did one on I traveled to the year 10,000. uh but I mean it's crazy stuff, man. I really think that you guys should check that out. I'm going to watch a couple of these probably if I don't take another nap
And then
because
try
I
to
did
do
not
it.
nap. Well, maybe not today. I am going to be going to work soon, and I'm running on. I had 8 hours of sleep, but I woke up at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I put the new bed together, and
Jeez
haven't
Louise.
really slept since then. So
No word.
I want to get a little bit more sleep. But thank you guys for stopping by. Definitely check that YouTube channel out. I'm going to go astral project myself into more sleep before work, and hopefully that works.
So I'm probably gonna go watch more Rookie. We'll see you
Ooh,
guys next Sunday.
toodles.
Doodles.